Hello mga ka-learners! Congratulations at nakarating na kayo sa huling parte ng module na ito. In one lesson, we learned about compare and contrast o ang paghahalin tulad at pagkilala ng pagkakaiba. In another one, we understood how to distinguish facts from opinions o ang pagkakaiba ng katotohanan sa opinyon o palagay. Ngayon naman, we will tackle a lesson as important as the previous ones in terms of analyzing information. Trees seldom grow absolutely straight. Because of weather conditions, the slope of the ground they grow on, or availability of direct sunlight, trees often lean towards a certain direction. The same is true with some sources of information. They also tend to lean towards one side when presenting information. This means that their personal preferences or judgments regarding the subject matter influences the information. This leaning towards a certain viewpoint is called a bias o kinikilingan. After studying this lesson, you should be able to identify and evaluate biases in statements or pieces of information, ika nga ng mga mamamahayag, makita kung may kinikilingan. A bias is a mental leaning, an inclination, a predisposition, or a prejudice that keeps an information source from being totally accurate. Why do you think people have biases? To find out, try drawing out the points of view of different people regarding an interesting topic. Let me show you how I did it. I chose the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes as my subject matter. Then I interviewed a parent, a childless adult, a teenager, and a sweepstakes ticket vendor. I asked each of them the following questions. Do you think people should buy sweepstakes tickets regularly? Why or why not? I noted down the answers of each person I interviewed. From his or her answers, I considered how buying sweepstakes tickets could possibly affect his or her state of life. The table reveals their responses. These are what I found out. The parent is very much concerned with saving money so he could provide for the needs of his family. So he mentioned only the bad consequences of buying sweepstakes tickets. The childless adult does not have the extra responsibilities a parent has. So for him, it is okay to spend for sweepstakes tickets, but only once in a while. Being a level-headed adult, he believes that buying tickets regularly is impractical. The teenager, being the youngest, is a bit reckless and immature. For her, it's okay to spend any extra money she has on sweepstakes tickets. The ticket vendor wants to sell more tickets, so she emphasized the benefits of buying sweepstakes tickets. This activity demonstrates how people develop biases. They do so based on the specific conditions of their lives, from which they form particular views, judgments, and preferences. Sometimes an information source can hold or protect an opinion so strongly that he or she loses his or her ability to stick to the facts. He or she is then said to be biased. This can happen to a salesperson desperate to make a sale, a politician trying to get elected, a newspaper publisher trying to gain more readers, a parent afraid for the safety of his or her child, anyone, in fact, who has an objective or a motive in mind. It is important to be aware of bias in a piece of information so that you are not easily confused or misled. But can biases be detected, especially if you do not really know much about the source of information? Any piece of information that doesn't seem to supply all the facts on a particular matter is probably biased. Most biases are communicated through the use of propaganda techniques. These are devices used to influence others by deception. Their presence indicates bias in a piece of information. The following is a list of some propaganda techniques. Name-calling, accusing or denouncing an individual by using a widely disapproved label. Example, he is a liar and a troublemaker. Glittering generalities. Vague and misleading general terms used when referring to particular persons or things in order to avoid distasteful details about them. Examples, love, peace, freedom, goodness, truth. Bandwagon, convincing people to do something by letting them know others are doing it and encouraging them to follow the crowd. Example, most people prefer product X because they know the plus factors of this product. Do you? Card stacking, presenting only favorable facts about someone or something and deliberately excluding unpleasant ones. Example, when asked to describe her cruel father, Julie said, "Tatay is a very tall, handsome man." Testimonial, using the words of famous people to encourage people to like someone or something. Example, Sharon Coneta uses this facial cleanser. She says it makes her skin look soft, smooth, and clear. Transfer, using the names or pictures of famous people or other figures and symbols of authority to encourage people to like someone or something. Example, Paeng Nepomuceno wears this brand of bowling shoes. These shoes can make you a winner too. Makamasa, trying to establish someone as one of the common folk in order to give him or her mass appeal. Example, a rich politician wears ordinary work clothes and joins in tilling a field in order to win more votes during the coming election. These are just some of the propaganda techniques used to communicate biased information. Is biased information totally useless? No. You can draw some useful facts from biased information. For example, free samples of a new weight loss pill with a pamphlet describing the benefits of using the pill might be handed out in the town plaza. I may decide not to use the pill, but I could use the pamphlet to gain new facts about being overweight. Let's see how much you have learned. Ready your pen and paper for a self-quiz. I will read 5 statements, then write biased or unbiased. Explain your answers. Number 1. For the sake of our families, we must vote Mr. X for president, shouted Mr. X's campaign manager during a political rally. Number 2. I don't trust him because he is a foreigner, said the manager about his new employee. Number 3. I lost 10 pounds after 1 week of jogging every day, the woman said. Number 4. I've always wanted to go to the bar. It's the place where everyone goes to these days. We have to go there tonight, said the teenager to his friends. Number 5. Don't go to that party. It's only for drug addicts and cheap people, said the mother to her teenage daughter. You can easily log in to your online LMS account to look for the answer key. Now, let's wrap up the important takeaways of this lesson. A bias is a mental leaning, inclination, predisposition, or prejudice that keeps an information source from being totally accurate. Sometimes an information source can hold or protect an opinion so strongly that he or she loses his or her ability to stick to the facts. He or she is then said to be biased. It is important to be aware of the biases in whatever information you get so that you would not be easily misled. Any piece of information that doesn't supply all of the important facts about the matter at hand is probably biased. Most biases are communicated through the use of propaganda techniques. Their presence indicates bias in a piece of information. You can also draw some useful facts from biased information. There you have it! Congratulations mga ka-learners! Nakatapos na uli ng isa pang module. We hope this helps you in analyzing information properly. O basta, para kumpleto ang karunungan, huwag kalimutan bumisita sa inyong online account. Di ba ALS tayo? Hanggang sa muli mga ka-learners!